disinfected like mad.
That's crazy.
Nice meeting you on this crazy story.
Mr. Chairman, I do have 7:02. You're free to start the meeting.
All right, we'll call it to order at 7:02. Go around the room for attendance. Yeah.
Gail here, Lincoln Woods. Dillinger.
Rick Poland,
Chris Gombiewski.
Sheldon Cone, Todd Spurl.
And Mike Wright.
Jules Olsman.
Sorry, Jules. You're going to do this to me every time we forget you.
Mr.
All right.
Chairman, at this point in time, I know you have the approval of the agenda, but on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Our minutes taker that we're still having trouble with has not given them to me to give to you.
Okay.
So I will need a deferral when it comes time to that.
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess we'll start with approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So we can just, do we need a motion to defer?
I do, Mr. Chair. I need a motion to defer to the next regular meeting.
Okay, looking for a motion to...
I'll move to defer approval of minutes till next meeting.
Thank you.
Good.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So we'll start with matter of site plan approval, site plan review for addition of Purdy residence at 10145 Talbot.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
Good, good. Brian Howard with HF Architecture. Scott Purdy is right here as well. It's a pretty straightforward project. It is an addition off the back of the house, both a two-story addition. The main reason for the addition is to create a first floor master. Also to create a covered enclosed porch area behind and expand their family room. Also to create another bedroom and bathroom on the second floor, which currently has a bedroom and bathroom. It's their master currently, and they want to create two kind of bedrooms up there, one for their son and a guest room. As you can see on the elevations of the house, the new additions are not visible from the front of the house. They actually occur below the main ridge line of the house, but also occur behind the current existing addition off the east side of the house. And that screen porch occurs on the back side, covered porch, I'm sorry. So, again, it's a pretty straightforward project. We are removing all the existing aluminum vinyl siding off it and going to a hardy shingle on the second floor, but also extending and expanding the existing brick on the main floor of the house around the addition as well, which will be repainted. So, okay, any questions?
Okay, we do that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Basically, this is a pretty straightforward addition. They meet the requirements of the code. I did put the plot plan up so that you can see where the location of it is on the lot. So you can see that it is to the rear. It does follow the rear contours of the house. And I will do this here just to make sure that we... so that you can see the elevations on the house, and what they're using for the siding in the back is a board and batten type of siding to differentiate between the two. You can see the east elevation, which will show that, and the west elevation, which shows the additional brick that's coming off. And then I also want to show, pardon me.
That was me on my vacation jogging, wasn't it?
No.
Oh.
No, but now you can kind of get an idea of what the house looks like. So you've all had the plans and you've all seen it. Basically, the second floor and the architecture is such that there's a differentiation between the two. The style is built in a manner that would typically be considered to lessen mass, not enhance it. It meets the lot coverage, it meets the maximum house size. The front yard setback is no change. The height is still 2 stories, 23 feet. They meet the bonus calculations even though they don't need them all. So you have a substantial size lot, you have a substantial size, or a less than necessary house size, so that works out typically very well. The windows are in decent proportion, so the only question that you have with the windows is, on this particular elevation here, if you can see this area here, this would be helpful if I would turn it on. This area right here on the bottom, which perhaps you might ask Brian to address if you want. But other than that, this is pretty much standard, and architecturally it has a lot of breaks in the architecture, it has a lot of design characteristics. The only thing is the west elevation window thing that you might want to take a look at. Other than that, that's all that I have.
Thanks, Hank. Go ahead and open up for public participation. There you go. We'll close public participation. And we'll run down. Jules, I'm going to start with you, so don't forget you.
Agree, pretty straightforward, nice plans, no
Thank you.
problem.
Thanks.
Thanks, Joel. Tyler.
You know, as badly as I want to rake Brian over the coals, no, this looks really good. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Sheldon.
As usual, at least in my experience, Brian takes into account what we're going to ask you to start with. It anticipates most of our questions. Brian, what's behind that blank wall on the first floor?
Yeah, that brick wall that was brought up, actually, there's a line that actually separates what you're seeing as that new brick pattern. So actually half of that brick is the master shower, and then back another 8 feet. So you're not seeing it in 3 dimensions, you're seeing it in 2 dimensions. So that partial line, or that line that you see that bisects that pattern, is actually the master bedroom, about 8 feet back from that.
This line
So-
right here.
That's correct. So there already is a step there, or a setback there. There's really not enough wall to put a window there anyway, in my opinion. And if Hank would go to the south elevation, we did introduce a higher horizontal window. You see up there on the south, which is actually in the master shower.
He's looking
Right there,
at
yeah.
this area right.
So there you can see that setback of those 2 planes that are occurring, one right against the driveway and then one back 8-9 feet or so.
How wide is, on the west elevation, how wide is the brick area?
I believe it's only like 3.5 feet of that.
Oh,
So the location of so the bed is actually going to be centered between the 2 tall double hungs right there. So you got a nightstand underneath each one of those double hungs.
that's not what concerns me. My concern was the total width of that brick area, even taking into account the 8-foot setback, the total width of the brick area on the west elevation.
About 15 feet.
15 feet, okay, so it's about half and half,
Yeah.
or not?
Well,
4 foot on the setback.
it's 4 foot on the setback, and then there's another 5 feet of brick. If he goes back to that other elevation, it's 5 feet right against the driveway. Okay, so down there, you see where the awning window is, that smaller window is?
Yeah,
So right to the right of that is a 5-foot section of brick.
understand.
And then another 4-foot section of brick set back 9 feet, I believe. Actually, 10 feet, I'm sorry. 10 feet back from that is that other plane.
No, I was just trying to get a handle on what kind of spacing there was for a placement of window, and I don't think there's sufficient space there to do that. So I'm perfect.
If that were a 9-foot plane there, in all one plane, sure, we absolutely would have put a window in there. But I think with that step that's occurring, that window would look too forced in. I can't put one in the shower anyway. I've already put one in the shower, and I wouldn't want to put one where the shower head is, for instance. But then even on that plane further back, I think you'd just be forcing a window in there. That just wouldn't look right.
All right, the reason I'm asking is because Hank brought it up. So
Yeah, and again, just the point
Blame him
is,
for whatever.
Yeah, right?
yeah, and just for clarification, and I believe what, Brian's saying, although I think he's said it fairly well, is that the break and the articulation of the wall, this area right here, where this is on one plane and that's on another plane, is sufficient to create enough architectural interest and enough diversity that a window is not necessary, and it doesn't fit without looking like it shouldn't be there.
I'm happy with the plan that's presented.
Thanks, Sean. Chris?
No questions for me.
Rick?
Hank, the PDFs are not the same as the prints.
The PDFs I got prior to this, so these are the architectural, you're approving a plan.
Okay, so I don't think our plans have any window sizes on them.
They do not.
They do not.
Yeah, that was brought to my attention after I'd already submitted the sets. We had submitted this way before the deadline time, and it was when Hank then emailed me and said, I don't see window sizes on here, and I said, my mistake, I didn't put them on the printed sets. He said, just get them on if you can get them on the PDFs, get them to me, then I can forward them on to the commissioner.
Which is what we did.
So is that acceptable to?
Yeah, because what'll happen is that when we get a final document that goes to get a permit, Brian will take the sizes for the windows, transpose them onto the paper document. We'll be supplied with 2 copies of that, both of which will be signed for permit, and then go back to him. So it means another step for me, is that when his plans come in, I have to check the paper copy that comes in along with the PDFs, make sure the numbers match, but we do routine, that's fairly routine for us.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Rick.
Jill?
I just want to be clear, the brick that you're adding will be, you're gonna paint all the brick to match?
Correct.
Is it currently painted brick?
Currently is.
Okay.
It's white currently, and I'm not sure, we haven't really decided what the final color scheme is yet, but yes, it'll be painted.
Okay, great, I don't have any other questions.
Yeah?
No questions.
Thank you.
I think that's great. Straightforward, like you said. So I guess we're looking for a motion.
Thanks.
I'll move to approve plan as submitted.
Jill? Second?
Second?
Todd?
Yep.
All right. Go on. Well, I guess we don't have to go around on Zoom, do we? All in favor? Opposed? Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you, congratulations.
Yep, I'll add them to my recycling now. Thank you.
The surveys too?
Do you need those? Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Mr. Chair, at this point in time, our next order of business is going to be the December 6th. And I thought I would give you a little bit of explanation, if it's okay if we proceed to that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
So basically what we have is we have an opportunity, we have the master plan coming out, and we'll have the first iteration of some compilation of everything that we've been talking about and everything that's been going together. So it's the first time you'll see the start of a document, okay? This will by no means be the final document. It's an opportunity for us to get it, and again, you'll get it ahead of time of the meeting. And then we'll be able to see it, we'll be able to comment on it. The MKSK will be here to make a presentation for it. And then we will have the time. Now, we don't normally have a meeting in December, so why I'm doing it is on the 6th is because, one, we don't have a meeting that month, so it won't be 2. And at the beginning of the month, it's going to be less congested than before. Also, on the November meeting, it gives an opportunity for, we've been trying to get CIB planning to come in because they've been talking to the commercial entities in Huntington Woods to find out what they're looking for and allow them to give a presentation to the Planning Commission prior to the December 6th meeting, and allow the MKSK to take any input that you might have from that meeting as well. So the time frame works, plus at the December 6th meeting gives me plenty of time to make sure that we publicize this to the extent that we can. Again, we would use the street signs, the marquees, the advertisements and that. This is a meeting on December 6th, which if we get our motion to approve, will be a meeting where we want and need the public input. So in order to do that, that gives us plenty of time to do that. So if you would favor us with a motion, we would greatly appreciate it.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to approve special meeting date for the planning commission on December 6th for review of additional draft master plan.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 PM?
That'll be 7 p.m.
And probably either at the rec or...
Well, here's the thing, it will be here, and if we'll change it depending on what we end up doing.
Okay.
But the motion will be here, this is where a regular meeting would be, so we would schedule it for here. If we have to have a change of venue, I would fill out our change of venue notice that we do all the time in the affidavits and that.
Okay.
And post it in plenty of time so people will know. It'll certainly be known before the street signs go out, so.
Will it be broadcasting?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have it. We have to figure out, we don't have the capability for the rec center that we do here as far as all the different angles and the graphics and everything like that. But we can get it out. And possibly with this one, it could be a meeting that would be, we would hope, would be well attended. So it's the possibility. I don't think it behooves us to go to the meeting room that we had last time, because I don't really think that gets us any more room than it does in here. But I think that the gym, if we could take half the gym and use it like the city commission has in their meetings, that it might be beneficial for us to do so. So, but before I promise anything, I want to make sure I got the date. Once I got the date, we can figure out the logistics.
Okay.
I'll let you know that I will be in attendance. I'm out of town that
Okay.
Monday already.
Thank you. So did we have the vote or just
Yep.
okay, so we're good on that. So we just need the location was what Shell was trying to clarify. Also, Mr. Chair, at this point in time, I would like to take the opportunity to welcome back an old face, Sheldon Cohn. Thank you very much for stepping in.
That was meant as a compliment, I think.
Yeah.
Well, for Hank, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
Of course, he has to get up and look in the mirror every morning.
I did want to point that out. Unfortunately, Gordon Glidden, who was absent for most of the year, did pass away. I did go to his memorial service. It's very sad. Gordon contributed an awful lot of time and years to the city on both the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals, and it is a great loss for us. But he had a rough go of it for the last year, and then Sheldon, I want to thank the City Commission for appointing Sheldon to finish out Gordon's term.
When was that term at?
I'll fill you in, we'll pull it out because we got to do this next month anyway, as to who's on, who's not, type of thing, in an election of officers. So we'll notice that, but I think you have until the end of next year, Sheldon. But I think the thing is that Sheldon really comes in, having been a veteran of the master plan situations, and with as many years on the Planning Commission, was kind of an immediate plug and play, and appreciate the City Commission giving us the opportunity for that, and appreciate Sheldon for taking the opportunity.
Welcome back.
So, now you're stuck. So thank you, Mr. Chair, that's all I have for the evening.
Seeing no public, we'll open and close public participation, and looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
I did the dramatic pause and going, maybe we all wanted to stay.
Appreciate that. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all very
21
much.
minutes.
That was by far the best one.
We had one sub 20.
Did we?
Yeah, that was